Healing light, letting go, moving forward. The journey to healing and renewal. Healing is one of the most profound experiences a human being can undertake. It's not simply a moment or a destination, it's a journey, an ongoing process of transformation that touches every part of our lives. When we talk about healing, what we often mean is the gradual release of pain, the opening of the heart, and the reclaiming of our full, vibrant selves. This book invites you to embark on that journey, no matter where you are in your life, no matter what wounds you carry. Every person carries within them a story filled with moments of joy and sorrow, love and loss, triumph and failure. These experiences shape us, mold us, and sometimes weigh heavily upon us. The pain of heartbreak, the sting of betrayal, the burden of regret, or the shadow of trauma thieves can feel like chains holding us back, keeping us trapped in patterns that dim our light and limit our potential. But within those very experiences also lies the potential for immense growth and transformation. The process of healing asks us to become willing to face ourselves honestly and compassionately. It requires that we stop running from our feelings or hiding behind distractions and instead learn to sit with discomfort, to listen deeply to our inner selves. This is where true healing begins, in the willingness to feel, to understand, and to accept. Not acceptance in the sense of resignation, but acceptance as a way to honor what has happened while freeing ourselves from its power to control our present and future. Science increasingly supports what ancient wisdom has long taught. Our emotional and physical health are deeply connected, and healing is as much about the mind and spirit as it is about the body. Neuroscience shows us how trauma can reshape the brain, how chronic stress affects our immune systems, and how mindfulness and compassion practices can literally rewire neural pathways to foster resilience. Understanding these facts empowers us. It means that healing is not just a matter of willpower, but a process that can be supported, nurtured, and guided. Healing is often nonlinear. It's not a straight path, but a spiral. Sometimes we move forward, sometimes we circle back, revisiting old wounds with new awareness. This is normal and part of the rhythm of true transformation. There will be moments of breakthrough and moments of struggle, moments when hope shines brightly and moments when the darkness seems overwhelming. This book is here to walk alongside you through all those moments, offering tools, reflections, and encouragement to keep moving forward. In the pages ahead, you will find a compassionate guide to letting go, releasing the burdens that weigh you down, whether they are painful memories, toxic relationships, limiting beliefs, or deep-seated fears. You will learn how to cultivate resilience, rebuild your sense of safety and trust, and create a vision for your life that is rooted in hope, growth, and possibility. This is a call to reclaim your power, your peace, and your joy. No matter what brought you here, grief, disappointment, trauma, or simply a desire for deeper fulfillment, know this: healing is possible. You are not alone, and you are more resilient than you realize. This journey will challenge you, but it will also open doors to a new way of being, one where your light shines brighter, your heart feels lighter, and your spirit moves freely. Let this be the beginning of your healing light, a light that warms, transforms, and guides you home to yourself. Chapter 1. The Weight of Holding On, Understanding the Need to Let Go. Many of us carry invisible, burdensome emotional weights we may not even fully recognize. These weights come from past experiences, painful memories, regrets, lost relationships, betrayals, or unfulfilled dreams. Sometimes the burden is heavy and obvious, and other times it is subtle, hidden beneath layers of everyday stress and distraction. Whatever form it takes, holding on to emotional pain can prevent us from living fully and freely. To begin the process of healing, we must first understand why we cling so tightly to what hurts us, and why letting go is such a profound act of courage and liberation. Holding on is a natural human instinct. When something hurts, Our mind often tries to protect us by anchoring us to the event or feeling, almost as if keeping the pain close will help us prevent it from happening again. Psychologists call this phenomenon emotional attachment or rumination. It means the brain loops over the same thoughts, feelings, or memories, trying to make sense of them, searching for answers, justice, or closure. While this is a natural response, it can become a trap if it continues indefinitely, keeping us stuck in the past rather than allowing us to move forward. We hold on to pain because it feels familiar. Even if the pain is unpleasant, it is often more comfortable than the uncertainty of change or the vulnerability required to heal. Holding on can feel like holding a lifeline, a way to stay connected to a person or moment that mattered deeply, or a way to validate our experiences and identity. Sometimes we believe that if we let go, we will lose part of ourselves or forget the lessons we've learned. Other times we fear that letting go means we are giving up or betraying someone. Understanding these reasons can help us approach the act of letting go with compassion rather than judgment. It is not a failure or weakness. It is a deeply human struggle. The process of release requires that we address these fears honestly and learn to reframe our stories in a way that honors the past without being imprisoned by it. Letting go begins with awareness. Awareness means noticing what you are holding on to, the memories, emotions, grudges, or habits that no longer serve you. It also means recognizing the toll that these burdens take on your emotional and physical well-being. Research shows that chronic emotional stress can contribute to a host of health problems, including anxiety, depression, heart disease, and weakened immune response. The body remembers trauma, and holding on emotionally can keep those physical effects alive. The practice of mindfulness is an invaluable tool here. Mindfulness teaches us to observe our thoughts and feelings without judgment or reaction. Instead of pushing away painful memories or trying to distract ourselves, mindfulness encourages us to witness our inner experience with curiosity and kindness. This non-judgmental attention allows us to see our pain more clearly and begin to untangle it from our identity. Another essential part of letting go is self-compassion. Often, we blame ourselves for the pain we carry, feeling weak, unworthy, or responsible for what happened. But healing requires a gentle heart toward ourselves. Practicing self-compassion means speaking to yourself with kindness, forgiving your mistakes, and recognizing that suffering is a universal human experience. When we treat ourselves as we would a dear friend in pain, the path to release becomes smoother. It's also important to acknowledge that letting go is not about forgetting or erasing the past. Our memories shape who we are, and some experiences are so meaningful that they deserve to be honored. Letting go means releasing the hold the past has on our emotions and actions. It's the difference between carrying a heavy backpack versus storing photos and memories in a beautiful album that we can look at with gratitude instead of pain. Many people fear that letting go will leave them empty or vulnerable. But true liberation comes from vulnerability, from opening ourselves to the fullness of life, including both joy and sorrow. Vulnerability is the birthplace of authenticity, connection, and growth. When we allow ourselves to be vulnerable, we invite healing to flow in. Practical steps to begin letting go include reflection and journaling to identify what holds you back, practicing mindfulness meditation to cultivate presence, and setting boundaries with people or situations that trigger pain. Engaging in therapy or support groups can also provide safe spaces to process emotions and gain new perspectives. Some days will feel lighter, others heavier, but with persistence and patience, the weight of holding on will gradually lift. As you let go, you create space for new experiences, relationships, and dreams to enter your life. You have taken the first step by exploring why holding on happens and why letting go matters. In the chapters ahead, we will delve deeper into the tools and practices that support your healing light, helping you move forward with strength, grace, and hope. Chapter 2. The Art of Release. How to let go without losing yourself. Letting go is one of the most challenging yet liberating acts we can perform. It is often misunderstood as an act of giving up, forgetting, or moving on too quickly. In reality, letting go is a conscious choice to free yourself from the invisible chains that bind you to past pain and to reclaim your power in the present moment. This chapter explores the art of release, how to let go in a way that honors your story, protects your identity, and opens the door to healing and renewal. When we talk about letting go, it's important to first clarify what it means and what it does not mean. Letting go is not about erasing memories or pretending that difficult experiences didn't happen. It is not about denying your emotions or bottling them up until they disappear. Nor is it about giving others permission to hurt you again or excusing harmful behavior. Instead, letting go is about shifting your relationship to pain, freeing yourself from the grip it has on your thoughts, feelings, and actions. The first step in the art of release is understanding that holding on to pain often feels safer than the uncertainty of letting go. Pain, even painful memories, can become familiar territory, like an old house where you know every creak and corner. Letting go means stepping out into unfamiliar territory, and this can bring fear. Fear of loss, fear of vulnerability, fear of what comes next. Recognizing these fears as normal and valid is essential. You are not weak for feeling afraid, you are human. The process of release requires intentionality. It's not something that happens overnight or by sheer willpower. It often requires a series of deliberate steps, repeated over time, that gently loosen the grip of pain. This process is both emotional and cognitive. It involves feeling your emotions deeply while also reshaping the stories you tell yourself about those emotions. One of the most powerful tools for letting go is mindfulness. Mindfulness teaches us to bring non-judgmental awareness to our present experience, including difficult emotions. Instead of resisting pain or trying to distract ourselves, mindfulness invites us to observe our feelings with curiosity and compassion. When we fully experience our emotions without judgment, we create space for them to move through us rather than getting stuck. This practice rewires our brain, reducing the intensity of painful memories and weakening their hold over time. Alongside mindfulness, self-compassion is a critical pillar of release. Self-compassion means treating yourself with the same kindness you would offer a dear friend who is hurting. Many people struggle with harsh self-criticism, blaming themselves for what happened or feeling unworthy of healing. This inner voice can be the loudest barrier to letting go. Learning to replace self-judgment with kindness softens the emotional pain and fosters resilience. Another key component of letting go is rewriting your narrative. Our brains are wired to create stories that make sense of our experiences. Unfortunately, these stories can sometimes trap us in victimhood or blame, keeping us emotionally tethered to the past. By consciously choosing to reframe these narratives, recognizing your strength, growth, and the lessons learned, you reclaim your story as one of empowerment rather than defeat. This does not mean ignoring the pain, but integrating it as part of your journey. In practical terms, journaling can be a powerful way to explore and rewrite your story. Writing allows you to externalize your thoughts and emotions, making them easier to process. Try writing letters to the person or situation you need to release, not to send, but to express everything that needs to be said. This practice can create a symbolic release, helping you move from emotional clutter to clarity. Boundaries are also essential in the art of release. Sometimes we hold on not just to memories, but to relationships or environments that continue to drain our energy or cause harm. Letting go may require setting clear boundaries or, in some cases, ending toxic relationships. This can be painful, but it is a vital step toward protecting your healing and reclaiming your peace. Remember, Setting boundaries is an act of self-respect and preservation, not punishment. Forgiveness is another complex but powerful aspect of letting go. Forgiveness is often misunderstood as excusing wrongdoing or forgetting harm done. In truth, forgiveness is about freeing yourself from the corrosive effects of anger, bitterness, or resentment. Forgiveness is a gift you give yourself a way to lighten your emotional load and reclaim your freedom. It doesn't mean you condone the hurt or that you need to reconcile with those who caused pain. Instead, it is about releasing the emotional hold they have on you. It's important to recognize that forgiveness is a process, not a single event. It often requires time, reflection, and sometimes support from trusted friends or professionals. Be patient with yourself and honor your own pace. If forgiveness feels impossible right now, that's okay. Focus first on your own healing and safety. Letting go also means embracing acceptance. Acceptance is a radical act of acknowledging reality as it is without resistance or denial. This doesn't mean you have to like or approve of what happened. Rather, acceptance means recognizing that the past cannot be changed, and that your energy is better spent on creating a hopeful present and future. Acceptance reduces suffering by freeing you from the battle against reality. Physical practices can also support the emotional process of release. Movement, breathwork, and creative expressions such as art or music help to unstick emotions held in the body. Trauma and stress often get trapped in muscular tension or nervous system patterns. By engaging the body, you facilitate the natural flow and release of these energies, supporting deeper healing. Therapeutic approaches such as somatic experiencing, EMDR, eye movement desensitization and reprocessing, and trauma-informed therapy offer scientifically supported methods to process and release deep emotional wounds safely. If past trauma feels overwhelming, seeking professional help is a courageous and vital step. Finally, community and connection are crucial. Healing doesn't happen in isolation. Sharing your journey with supportive people, friends, family, support groups, or therapists provides validation, encouragement, and perspective. Vulnerability creates connection, and connection fosters healing. The art of release involves a combination of awareness, compassion, intentional practice, and support. It asks you to hold your pain with kindness, to face fears gently, to rewrite your story from a place of strength, and to create space for new possibilities. Letting go is not losing yourself, but finding yourself anew, free from the shadows of the past. As you practice the art of release, remember, every small step forward is progress. There will be moments of resistance and doubt, but your commitment to healing lights the way. This chapter has laid the foundation for practical and emotional strategies to let go. In the chapters ahead, we will explore specific tools and rituals that deepen your healing and empower you to move confidently into your next chapter. Chapter 3: Daily Rituals for Healing, building habits that nourish your soul and renew your spirit. Healing is not a destination, but a daily journey. It unfolds through small, consistent acts that nourish your soul, strengthen your resilience, and restore your sense of wholeness. In this chapter, we explore the power of daily ritual, simple, intentional habits that create structure, meaning, and healing momentum in your life. These rituals act as anchors amid life's storms, grounding you in self-care and growth while guiding you gently forward. One of the first steps to cultivating healing rituals is understanding their purpose. Rituals are not magic spells that erase pain instantly. They are sacred moments that honor your healing process. They create a rhythm that helps your mind and body feel safe and supported. Through repeated practice, rituals build neural pathways in your brain that promote calm, hope, and emotional strength. In other words, rituals rewire your brain and your nervous system, shifting from states of stress and trauma to states of balance and renewal. Let's explore key categories of healing rituals that you can integrate into your daily life. Morning rituals, starting the day with intention and calm. How you begin your day sets the tone for everything that follows. Mornings often bring a flood of thoughts and emotions, worries about the past, anxiety about the future, or lingering exhaustion. Establishing a morning ritual helps you move from reaction to intention, allowing you to greet each day with groundedness and purpose. A powerful morning ritual begins with stillness. Before jumping into the demands of your day, take a few minutes to sit quietly. Close your eyes and focus on your breath, slow, deep inhales and exhales. This simple act signals to your nervous system that it's safe to relax. Breathwork stimulates the parasympathetic nervous system, the rest and digest mode, which counteracts stress. Following your breath, try setting an intention for the day. This might be a word, phrase, or affirmation that reflects what you want to cultivate: peace, courage, patience, or I choose healing. Writing this intention down or repeating it silently creates a powerful anchor that reminds you of your commitment to yourself throughout the day. Movement is another valuable component of morning rituals. Gentle stretching, yoga, or even a short walk outside connects you with your body and the present moment. Moving your body helps release physical tension and floods your system with energy and endorphins, natural mood lifters. Finally, nourish your body with mindful eating or drinking. Whether it's a warm cup of tea or a healthy breakfast, savor each bite or sip as an act of self-care. These small acts of mindfulness build your capacity to be present and kind to yourself. Midday rituals, reconnecting and resetting. Midday often brings a slump or overwhelm as the weight of tasks and emotions accumulates. Incorporating rituals during your lunch break or a quiet moment can refresh your mind and recharge your spirit. One effective ritual is a mindful pause. This can be as brief as 1 minute or as long as 15, depending on your schedule. During this pause, step away from your work or responsibilities. Close your eyes and take slow, deliberate breaths. Scan your body for tension and consciously release it. If you notice negative thoughts or feelings, acknowledge them without judgment, and then let them go like clouds passing through the sky. Gratitude practice is another midday ritual that shifts your perspective from scarcity to abundance. Take a moment to list 3 things you are grateful for in that moment, whether it's the warmth of sunlight, a supportive colleague, or simply the breath in your lungs. Gratitude activates brain regions linked to positive emotions and builds resilience against stress. If possible, spend time in nature during your midday ritual. Even a short walk outside or sitting near a window with a view of greenery can reduce cortisol levels, the stress hormone, and improve mood. Nature has a profound healing effect, reminding us of life's rhythms beyond our immediate worries. Evening rituals, closing the day with reflection and rest. Evenings offer a vital opportunity to process the day's experiences and prepare for restorative rest. Establishing a calming evening ritual can improve sleep quality and create a sense of closure that honors your emotional work. Begin by unplugging from screens at least an hour before bed. The blue light emitted by phones and computers suppresses melatonin production, disrupting your natural sleep cycle. Instead, engage in activities that soothe your nervous system: reading, journaling, or gentle stretching. Journaling is particularly powerful as an evening ritual. Writing about your day, your emotions, challenges, and moments of gratitude helps you process your experiences and gain insight. Try writing without editing or censoring yourself. Let your thoughts flow freely onto the page. This practice externalizes your inner dialogue, lightening the emotional load. Incorporate relaxation techniques such as progressive muscle relaxation or guided meditation to calm your mind and body. These methods reduce sympathetic nervous system activity, lowering heart rate and preparing you for deep sleep. Create a sleep-friendly environment, cool, dark, and quiet. Consider using lavender essential oil, known for its calming properties, or white noise machines to block distractions. Prioritize consistent sleep and wake times, as regularity strengthens your circadian rhythms and supports emotional regulation. Rituals for emotional expression and release. Healing requires safe outlets for emotional expression. Bottling up feelings leads to stagnation and physical symptoms, while mindful expression fosters integration and growth. Artistic practices such as drawing, painting, or music allow you to communicate emotions without words. These creative rituals engage right brain processes, which can access and release unconscious feelings. You don't need to be an artist. Simply allowing yourself to experiment and play with colors, shapes, or sounds can be profoundly healing. Movement-based expression, such as dance or breath-focused yoga, helps release emotions stored in the body. Trauma and stress often reside not just in the mind, but in physical tension. Freeing these energies through intentional movement supports the nervous system's return to balance. Speaking with trusted friends, mentors, or therapists can be a daily ritual when grief or overwhelm arise. Verbalizing your story reduces isolation and shame, reminding you that you are not alone. If direct communication feels difficult, consider talking to yourself aloud or recording your voice as a way to process emotions. Rituals for mindset and inner dialogue. Our internal dialogue profoundly shapes our emotional landscape. Negative self-talk fuels suffering, while positive, compassionate self-talk nurtures healing. Daily affirmations and mantras reprogram limiting beliefs. Choose affirmations that resonate deeply, such as, "I am worthy of peace," "I am growing stronger every day," or "I release what no longer serves me." Repeat them aloud or silently, ideally while looking at yourself in a mirror. This practice cultivates self-love and rewires neural circuits toward optimism. Visualization rituals are another powerful tool. Imagine yourself stepping into your healed, empowered self-calm, confident, and free from past pain. Visualization activates brain regions associated with positive emotions and motivation, helping you embody your aspirations. Gratitude journaling, mentioned earlier, also fits here by shifting your focus from lack to abundance, building mental resilience. Creating your personalized ritual plan. Not all rituals work for everyone. Healing is deeply personal. Creating your own ritual plan involves experimentation and listening to your body and heart. Start small. Choose one ritual from each category: morning, midday, evening, emotional expression, mindset, and commit to practicing it daily for a week. Notice how you feel before and after. Adjust as needed to fit your lifestyle and preferences. Consistency is key. The power of rituals comes from repetition, which builds neural pathways that support new emotional habits. Be patient with yourself. Progress may be slow, but steady. Remember, rituals are not tasks to check off, but invitations to connect deeply with yourself. Approach them with curiosity and kindness rather than perfectionism. The role of community in ritual and healing. While rituals are often personal, they become even more powerful when shared. Joining a support group, healing circle, or spiritual community creates collective energy that enhances individual transformation. Rituals performed with others provide a sense of belonging and remind us that healing is a shared human experience. Community rituals can be as simple as regular check-ins with friends or as formal as group meditations or ceremonies. These collective acts amplify intention and provide accountability and encouragement. Overcoming barriers to ritual practice. You may wonder how to maintain rituals when life feels overwhelming or when motivation wanes. This is a common challenge, especially in the early stages of healing. Here are some tips. Simplify. Start with brief rituals. Even just 1 minute of mindful breathing. Small acts are better than none. Anchor. Tie new rituals to existing habits, such as brushing your teeth or having coffee. Prepare. Set out tools or create a dedicated space in advance to reduce friction. Be flexible. If you miss a day, don't judge yourself. Simply return with kindness. Celebrate. Acknowledge your efforts and progress, no matter how small. The ripple effect of rituals. The beauty of daily healing rituals is their ripple effect. As you nurture yourself, your energy radiates outward. You become a beacon of calm and strength in your relationships, inspiring others to care for their own healing. Your daily rituals create a foundation for lasting transformation, turning the act of letting go into an ongoing process of becoming more whole, more vibrant, more alive. As you build your ritual practice, remember that healing is not linear. Some days will be easier, others may bring setbacks or difficult emotions. This is part of the process. What matters most is your commitment to keep showing up for yourself with love and courage. This chapter has outlined the essential daily rituals that support healing and forward movement. By integrating these practices, you create a nourishing environment for your soul and body, grounding yourself in the present while opening toward a vibrant future. In the next chapter, we will explore how forgiveness, often seen as one of the hardest acts to perform, can become a transformative tool in your healing journey, freeing you from the past and enabling you to move forward with peace. Chapter 4. The Power of Forgiveness. Releasing the past to embrace freedom. Forgiveness is often misunderstood. It is not about forgetting the pain, excusing harmful behavior, or pretending that what happened was okay. Forgiveness is a courageous act of releasing the heavy burden of resentment, anger, and bitterness that chains you to the past. It is a powerful key that unlocks the door to your freedom, peace, and emotional healing. This chapter delves deeply into the nature of forgiveness, why it is essential for healing, and how you can cultivate it in your life to move forward with greater lightness and resilience. At its core, forgiveness is an act of self-liberation. When you hold on to grudges or past wounds, the emotional energy you invest in those feelings keeps you trapped in suffering. You become tethered to the pain and hurt, replaying the memories and narratives that perpetuate emotional distress. Forgiveness, then, is a gift you give yourself, the gift of releasing the past and reclaiming your emotional and mental space. It is not a favor to others, but a sacred act of self-care and empowerment. Research in psychology and neuroscience shows that forgiveness has profound benefits for mental and physical health. People who practice forgiveness report lower levels of stress, anxiety, and depression. Their immune systems function better, blood pressure improves, and overall well-being increases. Forgiveness rewires the brain's emotional centers, reducing activity in regions associated with anger and increasing activity in those related to empathy and compassion. In this sense, forgiveness is a healing medicine that strengthens both mind and body. Yet, forgiveness is rarely easy. It often requires facing deep wounds and confronting uncomfortable feelings. Many resist forgiveness because they fear it means condoning injustice or losing their sense of self-protection. However, forgiveness does not erase boundaries or justice. Rather, it shifts your relationship to your pain so it no longer controls you. You can forgive while still acknowledging the wrongs done to you and taking steps to protect yourself in the future. Forgiveness is about reclaiming your power by choosing peace over perpetual suffering. How, then, do you cultivate forgiveness? The process is highly personal and nonlinear. It can take time, patience, and repeated practice. Here are several steps and perspectives to guide your journey toward forgiveness. First, start by acknowledging your feelings honestly. Give yourself permission to fully experience the pain, anger, or grief caused by the hurtful event or person. Suppressing or minimizing your emotions only prolongs suffering. Journaling can be a useful tool. Here, write letters expressing your feelings even if you never send them. This release externalizes your pain and begins the process of emotional clearing. Next, try to shift your perspective by exploring the story behind the pain. This doesn't mean excusing harmful actions, but seeking to understand the humanity behind them. People who hurt others are often themselves wounded, acting from fear, ignorance, or unmet needs. This realization can soften your heart and open space for empathy. Empathy does not justify the harm, but illuminates the complexity of human behavior, helping you separate the person from their actions. Another powerful practice is to cultivate self-forgiveness. Often we hold ourselves to impossible standards, blaming ourselves for what happened or for not healing fast enough. Self-forgiveness involves recognizing your humanity, accepting your imperfections, and treating yourself with the same kindness you would offer a dear friend. Without self-forgiveness, it's challenging to truly forgive others because we remain trapped in self-judgment. Visualization and meditation can also support forgiveness. Imagine holding the person who hurt you in a bubble of light and sending them compassion, or visualize cutting energetic cords that bind you to resentment. Repeating affirmations such as, "I release the past and choose peace," or "I forgive myself and others to heal," can reprogram your mind toward forgiveness and healing. It's important to recognize that forgiveness does not mean you have to reconcile or resume a relationship with the person who hurt you. Sometimes, forgiveness is a private act of inner release that does not require external interaction. In other cases, forgiveness may open the door to healthy reconciliation, but only when boundaries and mutual respect are firmly established. Healing through forgiveness also involves ongoing commitment. You may find yourself forgiving the same hurt repeatedly as old wounds resurface. This is normal. Healing is not linear. It is a spiral that moves deeper with time and practice. Each act of forgiveness chips away at the emotional burdens that weigh you down, bringing more lightness and freedom. Consider the role of spiritual or philosophical beliefs in your forgiveness journey. Many traditions, from Buddhism to Christianity to indigenous practices, emphasize forgiveness as a path to liberation and compassion. Drawing on your own spiritual resources can provide strength and meaning to your process. In practical terms, creating a forgiveness ritual can be transformative. This might include writing a forgiveness letter, burning it as a symbolic release, engaging in a ceremony of letting go, or simply sitting quietly with your intention to forgive. Rituals embed forgiveness into your body and psyche, reinforcing the commitment to healing. Remember, forgiveness is ultimately about reclaiming your emotional sovereignty. When you forgive, you choose not to be defined or diminished by pain. You take back your power to live fully and joyfully, unshackled from the chains of resentment. Forgiveness does not erase the past, but transforms your relationship with it, allowing you to carry your story with grace and wisdom rather than burden and bitterness. As you practice forgiveness, notice how your energy shifts. Resentment drains your vitality, while forgiveness revitalizes your spirit. It opens your heart to love, compassion, and connection with yourself and others. Forgiveness is the light that dissolves shadows, the healing balm that soothes wounded hearts, and the bridge that leads you forward toward freedom and peace. Chapter 5. Rebuilding Trust, Creating Safety Within and Beyond. Trust is the foundation of every meaningful relationship and the cornerstone of inner peace. When you have been hurt, betrayed, or disappointed, trust often feels shattered not only in others, but in yourself. The journey of healing requires rebuilding this trust, both internally and externally. Without it, wounds fester, fear grows, and vulnerability becomes risky. Yet, restoring trust is one of the most empowering acts you can undertake. It signals to yourself and the world that you are ready to move forward, to open your heart again, and to live fully with courage and authenticity. Rebuilding trust begins with self-trust. When trauma or emotional pain occurs, your sense of safety within yourself can be deeply compromised. You may doubt your own judgment, feel disconnected from your inner wisdom, or question your ability to protect and care for yourself. These feelings can lead to indecision, anxiety, and a pervasive sense of vulnerability. Healing involves strengthening your relationship with yourself, learning to listen, respect, and rely on your own intuition and values. One way to cultivate self-trust is through small, consistent acts of integrity and self-care. When you keep promises to yourself, whether it's getting enough rest, setting boundaries, or speaking your truth, you reinforce the belief that you are reliable and worthy of respect. This internal consistency creates a foundation of trust that you can lean on during times of uncertainty or stress. Over time, this trust grows, making it easier to face challenges with confidence and calm. Self-compassion also plays a crucial role in rebuilding trust. When you treat yourself with kindness and patience, especially in moments of struggle, you signal that you are your own ally rather than your harshest critic. This shift nurtures a safe inner environment where healing can flourish. Mindfulness practices, such as meditation or journaling, can deepen your connection to your inner voice and feelings, helping you discern truth from fear or doubt. Rebuilding trust in others, while often more complex, follows a similar principle of gradual consistency. Trust is earned through repeated positive experiences where vulnerability is met with respect, honesty, and care. After betrayal or disappointment, it is natural to protect yourself by erecting walls or withdrawing emotionally. However, prolonged isolation can stunt healing and deepen loneliness. The goal is not to rush back into full openness, but to take measured steps toward connection. Begin by identifying relationships where trust can be cautiously rebuilt. These might be people who have shown reliability in small ways, who respect your boundaries, or who express genuine remorse if they have hurt you. Communication is key. Sharing your feelings, needs, and limits honestly helps create clarity and mutual understanding. Healthy relationships thrive on this transparent exchange, which reduces misunderstandings and fosters empathy. It is important to recognize that not all relationships are safe or worth rebuilding. Some connections are toxic or harmful, and healing may involve accepting loss or setting firm boundaries to protect yourself. Rebuilding trust does not mean tolerating mistreatment or sacrificing your well-being. Instead, it means discerning which relationships support your growth and which hinder it. Trust also involves embracing vulnerability, which can feel risky after being hurt. Yet vulnerability is the gateway to intimacy, authenticity, and deeper connection. When you allow yourself to be seen with openness and honesty, you create space for others to do the same. This mutual vulnerability fosters trust and strengthens bonds. The key is to proceed at your own pace, honoring your readiness and comfort level. Healing trust requires patience sent out only with others but with yourself. You may experience setbacks or moments of doubt. These are natural parts of the journey, not signs of failure. Each time you choose trust over fear, you build resilience and reinforce your capacity to heal. Therapeutic support can be invaluable in this process. Therapists, counselors, or support groups provide safe spaces to explore trust issues, practice new ways of relating, and process pain in a guided, compassionate environment. They can help you develop tools to rebuild trust while navigating complex emotions and past trauma. Rebuilding trust also intersects with forgiveness, discussed in the previous chapter. Forgiveness can soften barriers and open the heart to the possibility of renewed connection. However, forgiveness alone does not guarantee trust. It must be paired with actions and experiences that confirm reliability and respect. On a deeper level, rebuilding trust reconnects you with the fundamental belief that the world, despite its imperfections, is a place where safety and love are possible. This shift transforms your outlook from one of fear and suspicion to one of hope and openness. It empowers you to engage with life fully, taking risks that lead to growth, joy, and meaningful relationships. This internal transformation ripples outward, affecting every aspect of your life. You become more assertive in setting boundaries, more authentic in expressing yourself, and more compassionate toward others and yourself. Trust becomes the soil in which your renewed life takes root, grows, and blossoms. Rebuilding trust is a vital and courageous step in the healing journey. It restores your sense of safety, nurtures vulnerability, and opens the door to authentic connection. By strengthening trust within and around you, you reclaim your power to live with hope, openness, and joy. The path is gradual, requiring patience and care, but the rewards are profound freedom from fear, deeper relationships, and a heart open to the richness of life. As you continue this journey, remember that every small act of trust is a victory, and every moment of vulnerability a step toward healing. Your willingness to rebuild trust is a testament to your strength and commitment to move forward with lightness and love. Chapter 6. Cultivating Resilient Strength to Rise Again. Resilience is the invisible force that carries us through adversity and enables us to rebuild when life falls apart. It is the inner strength that allows you not only to survive pain and setbacks, but to grow stronger because of them. Developing resilience is not about being unbreakable or immune to suffering. Rather, it is about learning how to bend without breaking, to recover and adapt when faced with hardship, and to keep moving forward with hope and determination. The journey of healing is deeply intertwined with cultivating resilience, as it provides the foundation for lasting change and renewed vitality. Resilience begins with mindset. The way you interpret and respond to challenges plays a crucial role in how effectively you cope. Research in psychology highlights the concept of a growth mindset, which suggests that setbacks and failures are opportunities for learning rather than signs of defeat. When you adopt this perspective, difficult experiences become catalysts for growth instead of insurmountable obstacles. You start to see pain as temporary and manageable, not as an endless burden. This mental shift is empowering and transformative because it places you in the driver's seat of your healing journey. Building resilience also involves cultivating emotional awareness and regulation. When you experience trauma or loss, emotions can feel overwhelming and uncontrollable, leading to shutdown, avoidance, or explosive reactions. However, learning to recognize, accept, and express your emotions in healthy ways strengthens your emotional resilience. Mindfulness practices such as meditation or deep breathing can help create a calm space within, allowing you to observe feelings without judgment and respond rather than react. This ability to stay grounded amid emotional storms increases your capacity to handle future challenges with greater ease. Another key element of resilience is developing problem-solving skills and flexibility. Life is unpredictable, and rigid thinking can trap you in despair when things don't go as planned. Resilient people tend to approach problems with curiosity and creativity, seeking alternative solutions rather than giving up. This adaptability supports healing by opening new pathways forward, helping you find meaning and purpose even in difficult circumstances. It encourages an active stance toward recovery, one where you are an agent of change, not a passive victim of circumstance. Resilience also thrives on connection. Supportive relationships provide encouragement, perspective, and practical help during tough times. When you surround yourself with people who listen without judgment and offer empathy and care, your resilience is bolstered. Social support buffers stress and reminds you that you are not alone, creating a network of strength to lean on. Reaching out for help, whether to friends, family, or professionals, is a courageous act of resilience itself. It demonstrates your willingness to engage with your pain and seek healing, rather than hiding or isolating. Physical health plays a significant role in resilience as well. The mind and body are deeply interconnected, and nurturing your physical well-being strengthens your emotional and psychological capacity to cope. Regular exercise, balanced nutrition, and adequate sleep build stamina and reduce stress, creating a stronger platform for recovery. Taking care of your body sends a message that you are worthy of care and respect, reinforcing self-trust and empowerment. In this way, resilience is holistic, involving attention to all aspects of your being. Developing resilience is often a gradual, nonlinear process. You may experience periods of progress followed by setbacks, and this fluctuation is natural and expected. It's important to practice patience and self-compassion, recognizing that healing unfolds in its own time and way. Celebrating small victories, no matter how modest, nurtures motivation and hope. Each time you face a challenge and choose to move forward, you are reinforcing your resilience and expanding your capacity to thrive. The stories of those who have overcome adversity offer powerful lessons and inspiration for cultivating resilience. People who have faced loss, trauma, or hardship often speak of the importance of finding meaning in suffering, whether through helping others, pursuing passions, or redefining their purpose. This sense of meaning acts as a compass, guiding them through dark times and reminding them of what is worth fighting for. Reflecting on your own values and sources of purpose can provide similar strength and clarity during your healing journey. Resilience is not about going it alone. It involves building a toolkit of resources and strategies to support you. Journaling can be a valuable tool for processing emotions and tracking your growth over time. Affirmations and positive self-talk reinforce a resilient mindset by counteracting negative beliefs. Setting realistic goals and breaking them into manageable steps prevents overwhelm and builds confidence. Engaging in creative outlets or nature can restore balance and provide emotional release. Therapy or coaching can offer guidance and structured support tailored to your needs. Importantly, cultivating resilience does not mean ignoring pain or pretending everything is okay. It means acknowledging your struggles honestly while choosing to persevere and adapt. This balance of acceptance and action creates a dynamic strength that is flexible yet unyielding. You learn to hold your suffering with compassion while also moving toward healing and renewal. In the context of healing from trauma or loss, resilience often reveals itself in unexpected ways. You may discover new capacities for empathy, patience, or courage that were dormant before. You may develop deeper insights into your own nature and what truly matters to you. These transformations are the gifts of resilience, proof that even the darkest experiences can lead to growth and light. The process of cultivating resilience can also deepen your connection to yourself and your spirituality or philosophy of life. Many people find comfort in practices such as meditation, prayer, or mindfulness, which foster inner peace and a sense of belonging to something larger than themselves. These practices can anchor you in moments of uncertainty, providing strength and perspective that transcend immediate difficulties. Ultimately, resilience is a commitment to live, a determination to keep going, to keep growing, and to keep believing in the possibility of joy and fulfillment beyond pain. It is the light that guides you through the storm, the quiet voice that says, "You can rise again." As you cultivate resilience, you reclaim your power and affirm your capacity to heal, to love, and to thrive. Take a moment to reflect on the resilience already present in your life. Think about the challenges you have faced and the ways you have managed to endure and grow. Recognize that this strength is part of you, ready to support you as you continue your healing journey. Know that resilience is not a fixed trait, but a skill you can nurture and expand with intention and practice. Chapter 7. The Power of Forgiveness, Unlocking Freedom and Peace. Forgiveness is often misunderstood as a simple, quick act a moment when we decide to just let it go. Yet, the truth is far more profound and complex. Forgiveness is a powerful and transformative process that can release us from the chains of pain, anger, and resentment that weigh heavily on the heart. It is not about excusing wrongdoing or forgetting the hurt caused. Instead, forgiveness is about reclaiming your own peace and freedom by choosing to no longer carry the burden of bitterness. This chapter will explore the nature of forgiveness, its benefits, challenges, and practical steps for cultivating forgiveness as a path toward deep healing and liberation. At its core, forgiveness is a gift you give to yourself. When we hold on to grudges, anger, or blame, these feelings act like toxins that poison our emotional well-being and cloud our perspective. Research in psychology and neuroscience shows that chronic anger and resentment can lead to increased stress, weakened immune function, and a higher risk of cardiovascular problems. Conversely, practicing forgiveness has been linked to reduced anxiety, lower levels of depression, and improved overall health. Forgiveness frees you from the corrosive effects of negative emotions, allowing your mind and body to heal and rejuvenate. Yet forgiveness is not always easy, especially when the wounds run deep or the offenses are severe. It often feels unjust or even impossible to forgive someone who has caused great pain or harm. The natural response to betrayal or abuse is anger and a desire for justice or retribution. These feelings are valid and important signals that something needs attention. Forgiveness does not mean denying or minimizing your experience. Instead, it invites a conscious choice to release the hold that the past has on your present and future. One of the biggest misconceptions about forgiveness is that it requires reconciliation or continued contact with the person who hurt us. In reality, forgiveness is an internal process that can occur regardless of the other person's actions. You can forgive someone even if they never apologize or acknowledge their wrongdoing. Forgiveness is about your freedom, not theirs. It is a personal journey of healing that restores your emotional balance and empowers you to move forward. The process of forgiveness often begins with awareness, recognizing the pain and anger you carry and how it affects your life. This requires courage and honesty, as it can be tempting to suppress or avoid these feelings. Reflecting on your emotions through journaling or therapy can help bring clarity and understanding. By acknowledging the hurt, you validate your experience and take the first step toward release. Next comes the difficult work of empathy and perspective taking. This does not mean condoning harmful behavior, but attempting to see the situation from a broader viewpoint. Understanding that the person who caused harm may also be flawed, suffering, or acting out of their own pain can soften feelings of hatred and open space for compassion. Compassion is a powerful antidote to anger. It does not excuse the wrong but acknowledges the shared humanity in all of us. This shift can begin to loosen the grip of resentment. As forgiveness deepens, you may practice letting go of the story you tell yourself about the event. Often, we replay painful memories repeatedly, reinforcing negative emotions and victim identity. Choosing to release this narrative does not erase the experience, but frees you from being trapped in it. Mindfulness meditation and cognitive reframing techniques are useful tools to help shift your thoughts and reduce rumination. It is important to understand that forgiveness is a process, not a one-time event. It may take days, months, or even years, and the journey is rarely linear. You might find yourself forgiving in one moment and feeling angry again in the next. This is normal and part of the healing. Patience and self-compassion are essential companions on this path. Celebrate progress, no matter how small, and be gentle with yourself when setbacks occur. One powerful aspect of forgiveness is its connection to self-forgiveness. Often, the harshest judgments we carry are directed inward. Guilt, shame, and regret can be heavy burdens that prevent us from moving forward. Learning to forgive yourself for mistakes or perceived failures is crucial for emotional freedom and growth. Self-forgiveness involves recognizing that being imperfect is part of being human and allowing yourself the same kindness and understanding you would offer to others. It requires honesty, responsibility, and the willingness to learn and change. Forgiveness can also lead to profound transformations in relationships. While forgiveness does not guarantee reconciliation, it can create the possibility for healing broken bonds or establishing healthier boundaries. When resentment fades, you are able to approach interactions with greater clarity and calmness. Sometimes forgiveness opens the door to renewed trust and connection. Other times, it helps you release toxic relationships and protect your well-being. In either case, forgiveness restores your power to choose how you engage with others. Spiritual and philosophical traditions across cultures recognize forgiveness as a path to liberation and peace. Many teachings emphasize forgiveness as a way to break cycles of suffering and cultivate compassion. Whether or not you identify with a particular faith, exploring these perspectives can offer inspiration and guidance. Practices such as prayer, meditation, or ritual can support the emotional and spiritual dimensions of forgiveness. To cultivate forgiveness in your life, begin by setting a clear intention. Acknowledge your desire to heal and free yourself from the weight of resentment. Next, create space for reflection, perhaps, by writing a letter to the person who hurt you, not necessarily to send, but to express your feelings and begin the release. Practice self-care and mindfulness to manage emotional intensity. Seek support from trusted friends, counselors, or support groups if needed. Chapter 8. Embracing change, the courage to grow and transform. Change is one of life's few certainties, yet it remains one of the most challenging experiences we face. When we are healing from past wounds, change can feel especially daunting. A disruption of familiar patterns, a venture into the unknown, or even a threat to our sense of safety. Yet, embracing change is essential for true healing and growth. Without it, we remain trapped in old stories, limiting beliefs, and painful cycles. This chapter explores the nature of change, why it can be so difficult, and how cultivating courage and openness can turn change into a powerful catalyst for transformation. At its essence, change requires us to step beyond our comfort zone. Our brains are wired to seek safety and predictability, and this instinct helped our ancestors survive. However, this same wiring can keep us stuck in unhealthy or unfulfilling circumstances because the familiar, even when painful, feels safer than the unknown. Healing means rewiring these instincts to embrace uncertainty and the possibilities it holds. It means learning to trust yourself and life's flow. Resistance to change often manifests as fear of loss, failure, rejection, or making the wrong decision. These fears are natural, but they can become barriers that prevent us from moving forward. Understanding these fears, rather than fighting or denying them, is the first step toward overcoming them. Mindfulness practices can help by encouraging you to observe your fears without judgment, creating space between you and your reactions. Another obstacle to change is attachment to identity. We tend to define ourselves by our experiences, roles, and the stories we tell about who we are. Letting go of these identities can feel like losing a part of ourselves. However, growth requires that we loosen our grip on fixed identities and open ourselves to new possibilities. This flexibility creates resilience and allows us to adapt and evolve. Think of yourself not as a static being, but as a dynamic process, always becoming. Embracing change also involves reframing how we see setbacks and challenges. Instead of viewing them as failures or punishments, we can choose to see them as opportunities for learning and development. This growth mindset, a concept popularized by psychologist Carol Dweck, has been shown to increase motivation, perseverance, and overall well-being. When we approach change with curiosity and openness rather than judgment and fear, we invite transformation. The process of change often begins with awareness, recognizing the need for something different. This might arise from a sense of dissatisfaction, a new vision, or a calling from within. Paying attention to these signals is crucial. It requires slowing down, tuning into your feelings, and asking yourself honest questions. What no longer serves me? What do I desire? What am I afraid to lose? These reflections help clarify your path. Taking action is the next step. Change rarely happens overnight. It is a series of small, intentional choices and habits that accumulate over time. Setting clear, manageable goals and breaking them into steps makes change feel more attainable. It also builds confidence and momentum. Accountability, whether through journaling, coaching, or support networks, can keep you on track. Importantly, change is not a solo journey. Seeking support and connection strengthens your capacity to grow. Sharing your intentions and struggles with trusted others creates a sense of belonging and encouragement. It also reminds you that vulnerability is a source of strength, not weakness. Healing and transformation flourish in community. Change also requires patience and self-compassion. It is normal to encounter setbacks, doubts, and moments of overwhelm. Instead of harsh self-criticism, practice kindness and acceptance. Recognize that growth is a messy, non-linear process. Celebrate your courage and persistence along the way. Spiritual traditions and philosophies across cultures have long emphasized the power of transformation. Whether seen as a rite of passage, rebirth, or enlightenment, change is a sacred journey. Engaging with these perspectives can offer comfort and inspiration as you navigate your path. To cultivate courage for change, consider daily practices that build resilience. Meditation, affirmations, visualization, and grounding exercises can strengthen your inner resources. Reflect regularly on past challenges you have overcome as reminders of your strength. Embrace uncertainty as an adventure, a chance to discover new facets of yourself. Ultimately, embracing change means reclaiming your power as the author of your own story. It is a declaration that you will not be defined by past pain or limitations, but will choose growth, freedom, and possibility. It is stepping into the unknown with trust, hope, and determination. As you continue your healing journey, remember that change is not something to fear or resist, but to welcome. It is the light that guides you forward, the river that carries you to new shores. Embrace it with open arms and watch yourself transform in ways you never imagined. Chapter 9. The Power of Forgiveness, Freeing Yourself to Heal. Forgiveness is often misunderstood as a simple act or a quick fix, a gesture we extend to others in order to mend broken relationships or ease guilt. Yet true forgiveness is a profound and transformative process that can liberate you from the weight of past wounds, bitterness, and resentment. It is not about condoning harmful actions, forgetting the pain, or reconciling at any cost. Rather, forgiveness is a gift you give yourself, a conscious choice to release the hold that anger and hurt have over your heart and mind so you can move forward with clarity and peace. In this chapter, we will explore the complex nature of forgiveness, why it matters in healing, and how to cultivate it even in the most difficult circumstances. Forgiveness begins with understanding that holding on to anger and resentment can trap you in a cycle of suffering. When you carry grudges, you are essentially reliving the pain over and over, feeding negative emotions that drain your energy and cloud your perspective. Science supports this insight. Studies show that chronic anger and bitterness are linked to increased stress, anxiety, depression, and even physical ailments such as heart disease. In contrast, forgiveness has been found to promote emotional well-being, reduce stress hormones, and improve overall health. The mind-body connection is clear. Forgiving is not just a moral or spiritual ideal. It is a practical strategy for thriving. But why is forgiveness so hard? One reason is that it challenges our natural sense of justice and fairness. When we are wronged, our instinct is to seek retribution, to balance the scales, to protect ourselves from future harm. Holding on to anger can feel like an act of self-defense, a way of asserting that what happened was not acceptable. Letting go may feel like surrender or weakness. Furthermore, forgiveness often involves facing painful emotions, head-on grief, shame, betrayal, which we naturally want to avoid. These fears and misconceptions create barriers that keep us stuck. To move beyond these barriers, it helps to reframe forgiveness as an empowering choice, rather than a concession. Forgiving does not mean you are excusing bad behavior or allowing others to hurt you again. It means you are choosing to reclaim your peace and freedom, refusing to be a hostage to the past. Forgiveness can coexist with boundaries, accountability, and self-protection. It is about detaching your emotional well-being from someone else's actions. This subtle but crucial shift in perspective opens the door to healing. Forgiveness also requires acknowledging and validating your feelings. Before you can forgive, you must give yourself permission to feel the full range of emotions associated with the hurt. Suppressing or denying your pain only prolongs suffering. Writing in a journal, talking with a trusted friend or therapist, or engaging in creative expression can help you process your emotions. This honest engagement with your inner experience builds a solid foundation for forgiveness. One powerful approach to forgiveness is the practice of empathy. This does not mean excusing harmful behavior, but rather trying to understand the other person's humanity, their fears, wounds, and limitations that contributed to their actions. This humanization can soften anger and open compassion. Psychologist Fred Luskin, a leading researcher on forgiveness, describes forgiveness as the ability to hold on to your anger and hurt without allowing it to consume you. Empathy acts as a bridge that can transform your relationship with the pain. Forgiveness is not a one-time event, but a process that unfolds over time. Some days you may feel ready to forgive. Other days the wounds may feel fresh again. This ebb and flow are natural. Being patient and gentle with yourself during this journey is essential. Rituals can help mark progress, writing letters you don't send, symbolic acts of letting go, or mindfulness exercises that cultivate acceptance. Healing is rarely linear, and forgiveness is a path you walk with courage and perseverance. Self-forgiveness is another critical aspect, often overlooked. We can be our harshest critics, burdened by guilt, shame, and regret. Forgiving yourself for mistakes, failures, or perceived shortcomings is as important as forgiving others. Self-forgiveness frees you from destructive self-judgment and opens the possibility of growth and renewal. It involves recognizing that being human means being imperfect, and that mistakes are opportunities to learn and evolve. Practicing self-compassion is key here, treating yourself with the same kindness you would offer a dear friend. Cultural and spiritual traditions worldwide honor forgiveness as a sacred practice. Whether through prayer, meditation, or community rituals, these frameworks provide support and guidance. Engaging with these traditions can offer a sense of connection and meaning as you navigate forgiveness. They remind us that forgiveness is not just personal, but part of a larger web of healing and reconciliation. In the context of relationships, forgiveness can restore trust and deepen connection, but only when both parties are willing to engage authentically. Forgiveness does not obligate you to maintain toxic or harmful relationships. Sometimes, the healthiest choice is to forgive and then distance yourself for your own well-being. Forgiveness is about your peace, not others' behavior. The transformative power of forgiveness is also evident in restorative justice models, where offenders and victims engage in dialogue aimed at understanding and healing rather than punishment alone. These models highlight that forgiveness can be a communal process that rebuilds social bonds and fosters empathy. Practical tools to cultivate forgiveness include meditation practices that focus on loving kindness or compassion, cognitive reframing to challenge negative thought patterns, and gratitude journaling that shifts focus to positive aspects of life. Each of these methods supports a mindset open to forgiveness and healing. Remember, forgiveness is ultimately a gift you give yourself. It clears the path for joy, creativity, and peace to return to your life. It frees you from the prison of past hurts and opens the possibility of a brighter future. By choosing forgiveness, you are stepping into your power as a healer and a creator of your own story. As you continue your journey of letting go and moving forward, embrace forgiveness as a vital companion. Allow it to soften your heart, clear your mind, and renew your spirit. Healing light shines brightest when illuminated by the power of forgiveness. Chapter 10. Embracing the future, creating a life of purpose and joy. As you arrive at this stage of your healing journey, you may feel a mix of emotion, uncertainty, excitement, and perhaps lingering fears. Letting go of the past and moving forward is not merely about closing a chapter, it's about opening a new one with intention, courage, and clarity. This chapter is devoted to embracing your future fully, learning how to build a life that reflects your true self and supports your ongoing growth. It is about moving beyond survival and stepping into thriving, purpose, joy, and resilience. The process of healing prepares you not only to release pain, but to build a foundation for a meaningful future. This future is yours to shape. It begins with vision. What kind of life do you want to create? What values will guide your decisions? What brings you joy, fulfillment, and peace? Clarifying your purpose acts as a compass, helping you navigate the complexities of life with direction and confidence. Purpose is deeply linked with well-being. Research shows that having a clear sense of meaning and goals contributes to greater happiness, improved health, and even longevity. It fuels motivation and resilience when challenges arise. To cultivate this sense of purpose, start by reflecting on your passions, strengths, and what matters most to you. This is not about external achievements or societal expectations, but about authentic alignment with your inner truth. You might journal your reflections, engage in conversations with mentors or friends, or try new activities to discover what sparks your spirit. Setting intentions grounded in your values empowers you to live deliberately rather than reactively. Joy is another vital ingredient in your new life. Too often, people postpone happiness until after they have fixed everything or met certain conditions. Healing teaches us that joy is not a distant destination, but a present possibility. It thrives in small moments, connection with loved ones, creative expression, time in nature, laughter, and simple pleasures. Cultivating gratitude for these moments strengthens your capacity to experience joy even amid difficulties. Joy replenishes your energy and creativity, making it easier to face life's uncertainties. Resilience is the muscle that will sustain you over time. Healing is not linear. Setbacks and struggles may still occur. Developing resilience means learning how to bounce back from adversity with strength and wisdom. It involves cultivating flexibility in thought and behavior, emotional regulation, and social support. You can build resilience through practices like mindfulness, self-compassion, problem-solving skills, and nurturing relationships that uplift you. Remember, resilience is not about avoiding pain, but about growing stronger through it. One essential step in embracing your future is creating healthy habits and environments that support your well-being. This includes physical routines such as balanced nutrition, regular movement, and restorative sleep, as well as mental and emotional practices like meditation, reflection, and boundary setting. Surround yourself with people who inspire and encourage you, and consider your physical space, home, work, and community as places that nurture your growth. Intentional living means designing systems and routines that make your values and goals achievable and sustainable. Letting go of the past often requires forgiving yourself for what might feel like mistakes or missed opportunities. Self-compassion fosters acceptance and kindness towards yourself, creating a safe inner environment for growth. This compassion also extends to embracing your imperfections and recognizing that healing is a lifelong journey. Each step forward, no matter how small, is a triumph. It's also important to acknowledge and honor your progress. Take time regularly to reflect on how far you've come, celebrate successes, and recognize lessons learned. This practice strengthens your motivation and reminds you that healing is cumulative, a collection of daily choices and actions that gradually transform your life. In embracing your future, you may encounter fear of the unknown or doubts about your capacity to sustain change. These feelings are normal and natural. The key is to acknowledge fear without letting it dictate your choices. Courage does not mean the absence of fear, but the willingness to move forward despite it. You can strengthen courage through supportive relationships, positive self-talk, and by breaking goals into manageable steps. Each small success builds confidence and momentum. Your future is also an opportunity to contribute to use your healing as a source of strength to support others. Sharing your story, offering kindness, volunteering, or engaging in community work can create a sense of connection and purpose beyond yourself. Altruism and social engagement have been shown to enhance well-being and reinforce a sense of meaning. As you grow stronger, you become a beacon of hope and inspiration for those who may be struggling. Technological tools and resources can aid your ongoing growth, such as apps for meditation, habit tracking, or therapy support. However, be mindful to balance technology use with real-world connections and experiences that nourish your soul. Moderation ensures these tools serve you rather than distract or overwhelm you. It's also helpful to maintain a flexible mindset about your future. Life can bring unexpected twists and challenges. Adopting a growth mindset, the belief that abilities and circumstances can evolve with effort and learning, helps you adapt and thrive. When setbacks occur, you can view them as opportunities to learn and adjust rather than failures. This perspective keeps you engaged and resilient. Integrating your healing journey into everyday life means bringing awareness to your thoughts, feelings, and behaviors. Mindfulness practices help you stay present and connected with yourself, reducing reactivity and enhancing intentionality. This conscious awareness is a cornerstone of creating a vibrant, fulfilling life. In summary, embracing your future after healing is about stepping into your power as an intentional creator of your life. It involves clarifying your purpose, cultivating joy, building resilience, developing supportive habits and environments, practicing self-compassion, acknowledging progress, overcoming fear with courage, contributing to others, and maintaining flexibility. This holistic approach nourishes your body, mind, and spirit, enabling you to live fully and authentically. Your healing journey does not end here. It evolves and deepens as you continue to grow and explore. Each day is an opportunity to renew your commitment to yourself and your vision. By embracing your future with openness and determination, you light the way not only for your own flourishing, but for the greater good of those around you. The journey forward, living with healing, hope, and heart. As we reach the conclusion of this journey together, it is important to reflect on the incredible progress you have made and the profound possibilities that lie ahead. Healing is not a destination, but an ongoing pathone that involves continual letting go, growth, and renewal. You have learned to release what no longer serves you, to face your pain with courage, and to cultivate inner resources that support your well-being. This foundation is your strongest asset as you step forward into a life shaped by choice, meaning, and resilience. The process of healing often begins with a moment of awareness, an inner calling to no longer be defined or limited by wounds of the past. You recognize that holding on to old pain, regrets, or anger only weighs you down and blocks your potential. This recognition requires bravery and self-honesty, two qualities that have become a part of your journey. By embracing these qualities, you have begun to reclaim your power and rewrite your story. Remember, the stories we tell ourselves have enormous influence over how we experience life. Healing invites us to become the authors of new narrative zones grounded in compassion, strength, and possibility. Throughout this book, you explored the importance of acknowledging emotions fully and allowing yourself to feel without judgment. Emotions are not enemies to be suppressed, but vital messengers that guide us toward what needs attention and care. By feeling your emotions deeply, you have connected with your true self and learned to respond to life with greater wisdom and balance. This emotional intelligence enhances your relationships, decision-making, and overall satisfaction. It is a skill and gift that continues to grow as you practice presence and acceptance. Letting go is also about forgiveness, not necessarily in the traditional sense of absolving others for their actions, but in freeing yourself from the grip of bitterness and resentment. Forgiveness is an act of self-love, a release that clears space for peace. It is important to understand that forgiveness is a process unique to each individual and can take time. You may revisit old wounds or feelings, and that is natural. Patience with yourself during these times allows healing to unfold at its own pace. As you move forward, embracing change is essential. Life's inherent uncertainty means that challenges and opportunities will continue to arise. Healing equips you with resilience, a flexible strength that enables you to adapt, recover, and thrive amid change. Resilience is built through practices such as self-care, cultivating supportive relationships, nurturing optimism, and learning from setbacks. Each experience contributes to your capacity to face the future with confidence and grace. Your healing journey also opens the door to deeper connection with yourself and with others. Building authentic relationships based on trust, respect, and mutual support enriches your life in countless ways. Vulnerability becomes a strength, allowing genuine intimacy and belonging. As you share your experiences and listen to others, you foster empathy and compassion, weaving a network of healing and hope. Community reminds us that we are not alone, that our struggles and triumphs are part of a shared human experience. Purpose is a guiding light as you create your new life. It is not necessary to have all the answers right now. Instead, begin with small steps aligned with your values and passions. Purpose provides motivation and direction, transforming routine actions into meaningful pursuits. As your purpose evolves, you will find that even setbacks serve to refine your path. Trust in the unfolding process and in your own inner wisdom. Self-compassion remains your most faithful companion. As you embark on new ventures and face inevitable challenges, treat yourself with kindness and understanding. Celebrate your efforts and forgive your mistakes. This nurturing inner voice fosters courage and sustains your growth. When you nurture yourself, you model the love and respect that you deserve and invite others to do the same. Creating healthy habits and environments that support your well-being is a practical extension of your healing. Whether it is through mindfulness practices, physical activity, nourishing nutrition, or creating spaces that inspire peace, these intentional choices become pillars of your renewed life. Habits, once cultivated, require less effort and provide a steady foundation for flourishing. The art of setting boundaries is crucial as you protect your energy and maintain balance. Boundaries empower you to say no without guilt and yes with clarity. They preserve your time and emotional resources for what truly matters. Boundaries extend to work, relationships, technology use, and commitments. They are an expression of self-respect and a key ingredient in sustainable well-being. In addition to self-care, consider how you can extend your healing to serve others. Sharing your story or simply offering kindness creates ripples of transformation in the world. Acts of generosity and connection deepen your own sense of meaning and fulfillment. The legacy of healing is not only personal but communal. It inspires hope and resilience beyond yourself. Remember, healing is cyclical rather than linear. You may encounter times of difficulty, doubt, or regression. These moments are not failures, but invitations to deepen your understanding and strengthen your resolve. Life's challenges offer opportunities to practice resilience, compassion, and grace. Embrace these as part of your ongoing journey. Finally, living a healed life means embracing your full humanity with all its complexity, beauty, and mystery. It means living with openness to joy and sorrow, certainty and ambiguity, strength and vulnerability. It means honoring your journey, trusting your inner wisdom, and celebrating your unique contribution to the world. As you close this chapter and step into your future, carry with you the lessons, strength, and peace you have cultivated. Your healing light shines brightly and will continue to illuminate your path forward. May your life be filled with purpose, connection, joy, and resilience. You have the power to let go, to move forward, and to create a life that honors your deepest self. The journey continues, and every step you take is a testament to your courage and growth. Embrace it fully with heart, hope, and healing.